Gleaner has a quotation here, step towards tyranny. Concerns raised about effort to remove Auditor General from Integrity Commission. Step towards tyranny. What a grand hyperbole. What a grand overstatement. The Observer says ditch the Auditor General, ditch the AG. Parliamentary Committee accepts Warmington's proposal to remove Auditor General as a commissioner of the Integrity Commission. And on page 3 of the Observer, there's another story that says IG has gone rogue, charges Chung, and that Chung backs proposal to limit Commission's access to information from third parties. I've had the chance of listening to some portions of this particular sitting of the Joint Select Committee. And if I'd not listened to the Joint Select Committee, I'd have thought that the position put forward by Delroy Chung, and which was initially supported by one or two members of this committee, I really would walk away with the view from this paper as if they'd had their way, and that perhaps even the Solicitor General, who was present and who has been advising the committee on matters of law, and all of the matters on which the Solicitor General advises the Joint Select Committee, I believe the Joint Select Committee defers to the legal view of the Solicitor General and members of her team on those legal matters. And indeed, even the issue where Chung said the Integrity Commission has gone rogue, and he cited this decision from Turks and Caicos, I believe. When I listened to the Solicitor General and Mr. Foreman, who is a member of her team, they were able to clarify what the decision of the Privy Council actually said, which it appears to be contrary to the position that was expressed by Delroy Chung. So when I saw this story, I thought, I'm going to have to listen back, because in the end I walked away certainly with the view that the views expressed by the Solicitor General and Mr. Foreman about the case from Turks and Caicos, which went to the Privy Council, it's that those views were different from the ones expressed by Mr. Chung. But Mr. Chung's views have been given the prominence as if to say the view he expressed is the view that is to be accepted by the committee. But the big story for both of the newspapers this morning is a proposal by Everard Warmington for the Auditor General to be removed from the Integrity Commission. And as a result of that, the Gleaner says a key technical support whereby Auditors General have sat on the Integrity Commission for more than 5 decades might soon be brought to a halt, as yesterday government lawmakers made the decision to remove the current Auditor General, Pamela Monroe Ellis, as a commissioner of the anti-corruption body. 2 opposition lawmakers signaled that they are opposed to the decision. The vote was taken during a meeting of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act. The move by a parliamentary committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act has caused shock waves among civil society groups who've expressed concerns about the controversial decision. The Jamaica Accountability Meter portal JAM said it's deeply concerned about the reasons presented by the committee for the proposed removal of the Auditor General from the IC. Jeanette Calder, Executive Director of JAM, said these claims appear unsupported by evidence or legal grounding. At the same time, Daniel Archer, Principal Director of Integrity Action, National Integrity Action, warned that the move by government lawmakers to have the Auditor General booted from the Integrity Commission appears to be a troubling step towards tyranny. And that's a quote, a troubling step towards tyranny. Archer argued that for more than 50 years, the Auditor General has been an ex officio member of the Commission established under the Parliamentary Integrity of Members Act, ensuring oversight of statutory declaration of members of Parliament and safeguarding accountability. So why now? The Auditor General cannot audit herself, making the claim that she cannot perform her core functions is a lazy and disingenuous justification for her removal. This reckless decision undermines institutional integrity and signals a dangerous disregard for democratic principles, she charged. Needless to say, I don't agree with any of this. In the first place, even though we had a Parliamentary Integrity of Members Act on which the Auditors General over the years they've sat, this Integrity Commission Act, being a merger of at least 3 previous statutes, it has given very awesome powers to the body that is the Integrity Commission. Awesome powers. And on top of the awesomeness of the powers, I am yet to properly understand what is the role of each of the members, each member rather, of the Commission. You have a Director of Information and Complaint, which has a fixed statutory role. And his role is not investigative. And I've had the benefit on this program and in the quiet of moments of reading reports where it appears that contrary to the statutory remit of the Director of Information and Complaints, there seemed to be some dabbling of that role with a quasi-investigative role that the Director of Information and Complaints has taken on. So that is the role. The Director of Investigation has a fixed role. The Director of Information and Complaints, fixed role. The Director of Investigation has a fixed role. I do not understand if when the Director of Investigation in particular does his work, writes his reports, comes to his conclusions, what exactly do the members of the Commission, what do they do thereafter, such that it is peopled by so many Commission members and has to be chaired by law by a retired judge of the Court of Appeal? I can understand the chairmanship and the need to have that because of everything has great legal underpinnings. But I do not understand what functions do the members of the Commission who are not Director of Investigation and Director of Information and Complaints or Director of Investigation, what roles do they perform? Because I don't get the impression that if the Director of Investigation makes a conclusion, then the Auditor General or indeed the chairman or any other member of the commission, I don't get the impression that they have the lawful authority to read and to say to the director of investigation, change this conclusion because it is not in line with the findings or with the evidence that you have put before us. So it may be that the number of people on the commission may be a grand and unnecessary overload. And especially when the Auditor General has very important and specific constitutional functions, and which functions in relation to the Integrity Commission it cannot conduct in terms of an audit because of the presence of the Auditor General herself on the commission. It may very well be a good thing to have the constitutional role reinstated, whereby the Auditor General can actually audit the Integrity Commission if she is not a member. It may be that we don't even need to appoint another person as commissioner because I'm not clear as to exactly what the commissioners do. Indeed, for much of the time that there has been a review of this law, even a minister appeared to be of the view that the executive director, who is merely a postman, moving around mails from one department to the next and getting paid some ridiculously high money, the minister thought that the executive director was actually the face of the Integrity Commission. So we have an expensive postman, and we have a law that appears to dictate that there are these different directors who are supposed to act in silos. And we have a law that also names some high-level commissioners whose roles we don't really understand because of the awesome role that is given particularly to the Director of Investigation. So to my mind, the fact that the Auditor General's role is now being considered in light of the constitutional requirement, and the committee that has the remit to review what is in essence a very young law, and the committee members are members that have been taken through the democratic processes by all of us, the eligible voters who decide to turn out. On what basis can any member of civil society claim that a democratic process operated on democratic principles, submissions are made by different entities, permanent secretaries board, submissions are made by private sector, submissions are made by the very civil society groups, including Jamaicans for Justice, including JAMP, all of these. And the submissions are considered, and not only that, a request is made for the Solicitor General, which operates inside the Auditor General's, the Attorney General's department, to give her legal views on the legal cogency on what is being requested, and a vote is taken at the end of the process. On what basis should the civil society group be saying that it's a dangerous disregard for democratic principles? Can it be demonstrated that an absence of the Auditor General on the Integrity Commission will lead to the reports of the Director of Investigation being in some way compromised or less than they'd have been if she's not on it? No. You cannot come to that conclusion. And if you cannot come to that conclusion, where is the disregard for democratic principles? And this is what has led to the headline, "Step Towards Tyranny." It appears that we wish for the country to be quite tyrannical. It is not. It is not. Well, anyway, it seems to me that if we don't have the outcome that we wish, then and only then is the process undemocratic. But only if we have our way is the process fair. How fair is that? The other matter that caused quite a bit of discussion, as I saw when I peeped in my absence, is the appointment of Mr. Dennis Chung to the Financial Investigation Division. I'd have preferred that that appointment had not taken place. And my preference came or has come because I'm aware of the principle of the appearance of something. And specifically the appearance of bias. It need not be actual. The appearance can sometimes cause greater damage than actual bias. And increasingly, in a world that is driven by all sorts, many of us are up against it. I recall when a member here openly supported a longtime friend of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, and gave him the support to becoming the president of the PNP. The clamors were loud for resignation. And I was able to state aloud and push past the perhaps appearance of bias, for want of a better coinage, because I am speaking from the belly and from probably the bottom of the river. I'm in here. So I was able to say nonsense because nobody comes and tells me I can't say this. But there are many who probably disregard my views on that. So it is with this one. So there's the issue of the appearance. But can I honestly say that Dennis Chung is not ably qualified? Can I also say that it is, if I question the appointment, then I'm not also questioning the integrity of the members of the Public Service Commission? And is that a bridge that I am prepared to cross in light of the people who occupy the position on that commission? No. I'm not prepared to do that. And there are ways in which a lot of people will look and see how matters unfold here, from here, and to say, aha, that is why I tell you this should not happen. So I don't know how to quell people's suspicions and people's conclusions that they hold, and they hold to it with their life and will never let go even in the face of truth. I don't know how to do that. And in fact, I don't wish to do that. I'd have preferred if the appointment had not taken place, but I can't fault the Public Service Commission for choosing the person they believe most able to lead the entity at this time. Those are my thoughts.
Join us next time for Emily's Views on the Hotline.